What is up, YouTube? That's here, bringing you guys another episode of In It to Win You. We are coming at you with a brand new time, this time featuring Alakazam, which is a Pokemon I really thought was going to be very, very popular in this format. It has a great speed tiering, huge base special attack stat, but it never really became popular. You know, a lot of things like Celesteela, I guess like Crocodile, and like I guess Porygon, and like harder Trick Room teams to an extent, kind of made this guy not as good as he could have been. I think Alakazam definitely could have taken the place of what Gengar was like in past formats. You know, that relatively fast, strong special attacker that doesn't afraid of anything. So we're going to be using a Choice Scarf Alakazam today. Its moveset, I believe, is Trick, because Trick is a really cool move, and if you can actually make Trick work, it's a lot of fun. We have Trick, Dazzling Gleam, Shadow Ball, and Psychic on this guy, and remember, I'm pairing it with a Tapu Lele, so I'm going to be using like Psychic Terrain boosted Stab Psychics, dealing a massive amount of damage, and it should be a lot of fun. We're pairing it with an Eopapaberry Arcanine, a Flyinium Z Event Gyarados, Psychic Siege Drifblim, Choice Specs Tapu Lele, and a Focus Dash Ninetales. Now, I don't really think this team is amazing. I just wanted to make a team around Scarf Alakazam, so I threw a couple Intimidators in there, I threw a Tailwind setter, threw a Weather User, and Tapu Lele has great synergy with Alakazam. Do I think this team is gonna break the meta and change the game? No, but I think this team should be a lot of fun to play for a couple games. So we're gonna hop into a couple games, see if we can win some. Here we go. Alright, so we're going up against a QR team. We see an opposing Lele Blim, Magnezone Porygon, Mudsdale Arcanine. I don't think that's good, but there has to be a reason why this is a QR team. So it has to have had some combination. Wow, he's already locked in. Alright, so let's just assume that he's going with some sort of, like, Lele Blim lead. How would we punish that? Gyarados is decent. I mean, I could Blim him back. I could Lele Blim him right back. I think I could just lead the Blim. Like, I could go like Blim and Ninetales? What if we went Lele Blim and then switched in the Ninetales because we think he's gonna Encore? Or sorry, because we think he's gonna Protect. Is that good? I'm actually gonna lead Ninetales and Drifblim. There's a couple reasons why. We're gonna lead Lele, or we're gonna bring Lele, and then is Alakazam good, or do I want Gyarados? I think Gyarados is pretty good. We're gonna bring Gyarados. Alright, no Alakazam in this first game. It's really hard to make Alakazam work versus a Drifblim, just because Drifblim's gonna be faster because of its Unburden. So we're gonna try, and you know, the reason why we're leading Ninetales here is because it stops the Trick Room, because we have Aurora on our Ninetales. So it stops the Drifblim, it doesn't stop his Drifblim, but like we can Tailwind and, you know, like Encore his Drifblim, and then everything will be fine. We have plays versus Drifblim, we have plays versus Porygon with this lead, and Ninetales is just a little bit faster than most of his Mons. There's his opposing Lele Drifblim, and it forces his Lele into like attacking, I think, this first turn. And we're gonna see what he actually goes for. I think. So we'll see. Is there actually a reason to switch in something here? I think I'm just going to go for the Blizzard. Just chunking these guys, softening them up. Like, I can go Blizzard, Tailwind in the next turn, just Shadow Ball as Lele. I think that's probably a pretty good play. I have Gyarados and my own Lele in the back, so that's also something to know. I'm just going to go Blizzard. I kind of want to just Encore his Drifblim this turn, because I'm pretty sure his Drifblim is just going to be using Tailwind. Don't you think? Like, I've thought about doing plays like that before. Obviously, that's a really good play against, like, Fake Out. But he just goes for the Shadow Ball. Cool. So I'm really happy I didn't. And he's going for a nuke on my Drifblim. And if he KOs my Drifblim this turn, I don't really think I care. I don't even know if he can KO it, because my Drifblim set, as some of you guys remember, is incredibly different from other Drifblim sets. So let's see how much damage we do. That's good damage. I'll actually take the damage. And we freeze his Drifblim. Yeah, I'll take those. And let's see if he can even KO my Drifblim with the Psychic. Oh, he's hitting the Ninetales. So the answer is going to be a big no, that he can't KO anything. I have a Tailwind up. You know, this is great. Oh, is my Drifblim? Okay, no, I saw my Drifblim take hail damage first, then I thought something was weird, but I forgot I had a Tailwind up. So I have Tailwind up. He has a Frozen Drifblim. We're off to the races here. We're going to go for another Blizzard, and we're actually going to keep his Lele honest and Shadow Ball it. If he wants to Protect, that's completely fine. We're going to be able to two-shot his Drifblim, and then we'll nuke the Lele slot next turn once its Protect is on cooldown. So we're keeping him a little bit honest. We're playing a little bit standard because we have such a lead. We're going to force him to outplay us at this point. Like, he'd have to go for some weird switch-ins or some other type of stuff. So if he just protects, it's really not the end of the world. He's not even going to protect. Cool. So, yeah, he's probably going to lose his Lele this turn. So Lele, it would have been really nice for Lele to get KO'd by that, so my Blizzards would have been dealing single target damage, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, that probably would have KO'd thanks to Hail. So if his Drifblim thaws, this turn uses Tailwind. Alright, cool. I was going to say that'd be really bad, because eventually if the game lasted like 3 or 4 more turns, he would have an extra turn of Tailwind, whereas I wouldn't. And that's not something that I'm actually all about. So let's see what he sends out. If it's a physical attack, we Will-O-Wisp it. If it's something that's rather frail, we just go Shadow Ball. If it's Porygon, we're actually going to Encore it. We're going to Shadow Ball his Drifblim, and we're going to not Encore. Sorry, we're going to Roar the Porygon. And if for some reason he goes like, just KO my Ninetales, I really could care less. So he actually got the attack boost, which is completely standard. And we're just going to Roar that guy. I can't let him set up Trick Room yet. I can't. So, and I kind of want to Shadow Ball the Drifblim. I will, just keep it honest. And then we're going to be getting to a point where he might be able to get a Trick Room up eventually, but I don't really think it's the end of the world. I almost just want him to KO my Ninetales so I can get like a free switch into my Lele or something like that. Like let him KO the Drifblim. I actually think he should KO my Drifblim. I'd appreciate it. Thunderbolt, yeah. Who you hitting? It's perfect. Like, I take those. Those are things that I take. So Roar's going to come out here, and the bad thing about this is I'm actually not going to be able to Roar anymore because he's out of Pokemon. So that's like one of the bad things about this. So let's see. I think I'm actually just going to Shadow Ball and Blizzard and try and KO that Mudsdale. And so even though his Porygon might be able to get Trick Room up, it'll be Porygon versus the world. Let me think about this. I have Gyarados and the Lele, so I think I should be fine. Even if he does go for like Protect Trick Room, I think I should be fine. We're just going to pop a Blizzard and a Shadow Ball up into that Mudsdale. And you may be wondering why we're Shadow Balling instead of Will-O-Wisping. You know, he could be vested, this might not be enough, but Will-O-Wisp can just miss, and I ain't about just missing. And also, Shadow Ball has a % chance to lower the Special D. About the same, almost the same % chance as Will-O-Wisp has to miss. So, you know, I think this is the fine play. Eventually, he's probably going to tick out. It looks like he is vested, so it is what it is. I don't really think it's the end of the world. And let's see what he actually has. So he's going for the Thunderbolt. He's still not Trick Rooming, so we win. He should have Trick Roomed right there, because that was his like one shot to Trick Room us. I let him have the Trick Room too. He didn't even want. He's going for the Rock Slide. He unfortunately misses, and we still have 1 turn left of Hail. And remember that Mudsdale, you can see it's pretty much vested because he didn't get just obliterated by my Blizzard. So that means he can't protect himself, which means all we got to do is send out the Tapu Lele, and we just go Blizzard Psychic, and the game's not over, but there's like no way for our opponent to really win, I don't think. So here's my Lele. We're just going to go Blizzard, and actually Blizzard plus Psychic onto the Porygon can probably KO it, because it's like a Specs Blizzard in the terrain boosted by Stab. So let's see if we can KO the Porygon from here. Well, not even from here, it's going to be like at 55%, and even like a full HP Specialty Porygon should go away here. So I think I'm going to win the game this turn. We're just waiting on him. We locked in our moves. I'd like to see him get out of this one somehow. You know, it'd be pretty weird. So we KO the Mudsdale. Porygon's at like 55-ish%. Let's see if he can actually live through the Spec Psychic coming out from Tapu Lele. And yeah, no luck right there. So Porygon goes down and we win the first game. I really wish that I brought Alakazam, but just against that team, against like Lele Blim, or just like really fast ghost types in general. Other things like Magnezone are also not that fun to fight against. So we're going to try and bring Alakazam. Alakazam's kind of made to beat things like Coco, maybe other opposing Leles, because we have like Shadow Ball and stuff. It's like a revenge KO Pokemon, or like a Steamroll lead Pokemon if they're using a bunch of like Glass Cannons. Against like Trick Room matchups, it's not as great, but we're going to try and bring Alakazam in the next one. So stick around. Here we go. Alright, we're going up against, I want to call this the Blitzkrieg Corps, because those the top 4 Pokemon, Kokoraichu Double Duck, that's like my jam. Like, I think it doesn't take an expert to realize that those 4 Pokemon have some synergy together and are relatively good, but I think I've had the most mainstream success with it at like a regional and like, you know, national worlds level. So that's a core that I'm very familiar with. And we're also going to see Murkrow, who I think is a very good Tailwind setter, so, and also a Metagross. So one cool thing you can do with this team, you can go like Koko Raichu, Murkrow Metagross, or Koko Raichu, Murkrow Golduck. And Golduck by itself is still just a decent Pokemon if it has Tailwind support. So it completely cuts the Pelipper out of the equation if you don't need it. Looks like he's already locked in. I think I'm probably going to lead Lele Alakazam. Is that the play? I can't protect myself with anything if I do that. But like, what is he gonna do? I can just Shadow Ball his Raichu. I'm faster. Shadow Ball the Metagross. Against Ducks, he can only KO 1. And I would just switch in my Ninetales. Yeah, so we're gonna go Lele, Alakazam, Ninetales, and do we want Drifblim? Oh man, there's not enough time for this. I'm going to bring Drifblim over Gyarados. And you may think that that's weird, but I don't like Gyarados versus Koko and Raichu. Like, I don't have any way of getting speed control. And Drifblim almost gives me speed control because of its ability after... Is it Unburden? Sorry, I always think its ability that people use is called Aftermath, but Aftermath's a really bad ability. Unburden is a much better ability. It doubles your speed if you use your item, and since Drifblim is holding these Psychic Seeds, if I send it out when a Lele's been active, I get a pretty significant boost to my speed. So, Lele Alakazam, Murkrow Metagross, starting things off. I wonder if, like, Shadow Ball plus D-Gleam damage would KO a Metagross. I mean, it's probably vested, but, like, let's think about Metagross in the first place. He can only, like, KO one thing. He's going to get his Tailwind off. So let's just talk about this. Like, if we see Murkrow Metagross, that means he either can't have Koko Raichu or he can't have Double Duck. I'm thinking he probably has the Double Duck in the back. So we're just going to wait. He was trying to catch my Ninetales lead, I think. And we're just going to go Dazzling Gleam here and Shadow Ball. I don't think that we're going to be able to KO this Metagross with a Shadow Ball, but it's going to be able to soften it up quite a bit. And you never actually know. Alakazam could actually be faster than a Metagross in a Tailwind. So we're going to see what happens here. It'd be really cool if he just like switched out his Metagross for something and got KO'd, but I don't think he's going to. Dazzling Gleam should KO the Murkrow. I am using a Choice Specs Tapu Lele. Dazzling Gleam's a little bit weaker because it's the spread move, but it is super effective. So Murkrow's going for the Tailwind. I'm thinking that might be a vested Metagross, just because it kind of makes sense. I don't really think it's a weakness policy one. There's nothing really to activate it on his side of the board. So, wow, that's a lot of damage actually. That was a lot more damage than I thought I was going to do. And, yeah, we get the double KO. I did not think that Metagross was going to take that much damage from the Shadow Ball, because I don't stab it. Sure, it's super effective. I guess I'm just used to Metagross being, like, in Gen 4 and Gen 5, taking neutral damage from Shadow Ball. I think I'm just used to that, and it doesn't click to my brain that Metagross should take a lot more damage from those. Because, remember, in Gen 7, Ghost-type attacks are super effective against, what is it? Well, Metagross takes super effective damage from Ghost-type attacks. Like, Steel typing does no longer resist Ghost. So, Koko Raichu, huh? Those was last two. So we're going to double switch here. I think that if I resend this core out after, once I have my terrain control, I win. And I'm sure he's going to be Z-moving me this turn. So we're just going to double switch. We'll just fodder stuff that needs to get foddered. Who is he thundering? I think he'd be thunderbolting the Alakazam and Stoke Surge Surfing the Lele. So we're going to switch out Lele because this is a stronger attack on that slot. And then we're going to switch out over here. Alright. I think we're going to be okay. The only thing that kind of sucks is that, what is it? I hope he actually D-Gleams and like nukes that Alakazam slot. That'd be pretty cool. Because I want to send Lele and Alakazam out at the same time to have like the maximum, efficiency. And I could have kept one of them on the board, but I'm pretty sure he's blowing a Z-move this turn. And I'm just going to make him waste it on one of these Pokemon. So, there we go. He's playing right into my hands. He's blowing a Z-move. I really don't care who he Z-moves. If anything, I hope he Z-moves what is now Drifblim, because I don't want, like, a sashed Ninetales paralyzed on the board. That's almost like a liability. I'd rather just have something get KO'd and have, like, a free switch into my Alakazam. So we're going to see. Who's he hitting? Please hit that Drifblim slot. Yes. Alright, cool. So this should KO me, because remember, I don't have my boost, and this is boosted by his terrain. So if we're going to go down there, let's see what he's using with Coco. I'm thinking it's just going to be Thunderbolt, but you never really know. Just Volt Switch. Hey, that doesn't really matter. It's completely fine. So Raichu's buffeted by Hail, Coco's going to get buffeted, and I think we're going to send out the Lele here. Lele's going to take away the terrain. We're just going to Psychic up the Coco. He's probably going to be going for like Dazzling Gleam and attacking my Lele. But I think I can just live through that. I think like Thunderbolt plus D-Gleam outside of terrain doesn't really KO a Lele. And I don't know if his Coco's spexed or not. Let's actually look at how much damage I took on Ninetales. He's probably spec, because he didn't take Life Orb damage, and that Volt Switch did a little bit too much. We're just gonna go for Psychic. Doesn't really matter. Psychic would probably still KO a Raichu, believe it or not. And we're just gonna go for Blizzard, because why not? Now, if my Lele was not specs, I would just protect him Blizzard and force him to KO my Ninetales. But you know, it doesn't really matter what he's going for. He's hitting the Lele. That's probably the correct target, but I'm just too bulky, I think. And he's opening himself up to eat a Blizzard. And look how bulky I am. I'm the bulkiest thing in the world. And we're just going to hit the Raichu. We're going to KO Coco this turn. And then his Raichu's left to fight like all on its lonesome. And, ooh, that went down really slowly. Could that have been a vested Coco? It's possible. Vested Coco is actually pretty good in my opinion. But no, I think it's specs because he went for Volt Switch again. I mean, on my vested Coco, I don't run Thunderbolt. I run only Volt Switch. But you never know. I just thought that the little bar went down a little bit too slow, and sometimes that means that they're bulkier, I guess. It's hard to say. We should be able to win this one, though, because remember, we have a Scarfed Alakazam in the back that has Shadow Ball. He's going for another Thunderbolt, but, I mean, even though he resists Psychic from my Lele, we're going to be coming and slamming in a huge Psychic up onto this Raichu, and it's boosted by Terrain, boosted by Choice Specs, boosted by Stab, and we are going to be able to pick up the KO. So, pretty good stuff. You know, we analyzed what his team could do and all the options he had based off his lead in the beginning of the team preview. I think that against that type of team, you know, I'm very well versed in that team's strengths and weaknesses, so I kind of know what it could be doing. Let's see. Yeah, looking back on that game, I just can't believe that Metagross took that much damage from Shadow Ball. Cause I just really expected it to be, I just expected it to be vested. I guess it was banded, because that's the other Metagross set that you kind of see, like Aaron Zhang popularized a banded Metagross earlier on in the season, because you see it didn't take like a weakness policy proc, and it just ate that Shadow Ball for like 70% of its health. And then I also wasn't expecting the Dazzling Gleam to do like, you know, 25-30%. It was pretty ridiculous. So, hope you guys like the games. Let me know what you guys think about this team in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.